Howdy, howdy. We are live on a lovely Sunday afternoon because we have a trailer that dropped during the weekend yesterday. A brand new trailer for Strange New World Season 3 was released into the internet. We are here to talk about it. I'm joined by Joel, Aaron, and Rachel. And Mirror Universe Amos. I have a different dog in the background than normal. It's like when Mirror Universe Archer he still had a Porthos, but instead of being a
Yeah.
beagle, he was a Doberman. It's like, oh yeah, it's the same name, different breed of dog. Doesn't really make sense, but oh well.
Wait.
What?
Oh, he doesn't have a unicorn horn. Shoot. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Mirror
That'd be
Universe.
cool.
It's still a Terran dog, just different.
Did he have a Doberman? I don't remember that. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
in the
remember
Mirror Universe.
one of my favorite behind the scenes facts is they're like, yeah, the Doberman's scary. They're like, the Doberman is the sweetest dog. Their normal Porthos was much meaner.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's very possible.
that's funny.
But we didn't have any Starfleet pets in this trailer. There's mention of a Salot in the recently announced episode
Yes.
titles. So
I heard that.
I'm not sure if we'll see one in the show, but we did get some other visuals, got some dialogue. So I'm just going to run through the trailer now, and we can kind of react to it. Paramount won't let us share any footage of their
Of course
promotional
not.
content, but we can
No.
go through these screenshots.
That would be too easy. Oh, nice way to
No.
talk about
Just
that.
show like every single, just frame by frame,
Yeah.
like, and just run them faster.
But we open the trailer with some shots of all the series regulars and a line from Una Chen Riley. Someone once said, "Space is dark and cold. Our job is to bring light, bring warmth, bring life to wherever we go." I guess the only thing that I took away from like these shots of the characters, everyone looks the same except we have a different Uhura hairdo. But other than that, there's the shot of Pike and Batel being kissy with each other. So
Yeah.
if there's anyone who still had any doubt that she was going to die in this Gorn cliffhanger follow-up.
I find it so funny that I wonder if we hadn't had such a break in between, that they have made no attempt to try to like be like, someone's not going to make it out.
I have a theory though of it is possible. I have to go back and look at the other trailers to
Yeah.
make sure, but she could be dead. Because we've got a lot of scenes where it's clearly like some sort of fantasy world or something where Spock is like in bed with
Possible.
That's true.
you know, all this could just be his, fantasy of having her still be there.
And
Or a
this-
flashback
that?
of
Or
this
flash-
scene.
yeah.
could be
This could
cool.
also, but I think she's also at the table at one point. And,
Yeah,
like,
that's the only thing where it doesn't quite unless that table is also part of the
Yeah.
fantasy thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
but also
that's where it
that
kind
was
of falls
very
apart.
cozy. Good for them.
he could have
I want
like
the slippers.
the ghost
Okay.
girlfriend. Yeah, he could be like throughout the season he has like dreams of his dead
Yeah.
girlfriend being
like-
alive.
Oh God, it's gonna be like a Wolverine
Cylon.
origins, and she's Jean Grey
No,
in a
It'll
bed.
be Discovery. Yeah, it'll be Discovery. And then
Yeah.
later, Batel will get their own golem body. And
I was them all smiling.
wrong
directly at the
century, I
camera,
know, but
Kind of creeped me out for a second.
What did?
What
That everyone's just smiling directly at the camera.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is a really
that is
weird.
kind of a weird. This must be from like an episode that has like a montage like
Yeah.
that. Because it is odd for everyone to just be looking at the camera this
Yeah.
much.
It's especially like,
Starfleet press is there or something interviewing them all, or
Yeah. Or like the Office thing where like it cuts to them talking to the camera.
yeah.
well, they did talk about doing like weird genres, so that's possible.
Yeah, we might
You
get
know
an
what?
episode
I'll
like
I'll
that.
take Star Trek a mockumentary. That would be fun.
Oh, but we also learned that the character that we saw possibly being romantic with Uhura in the previous trailer, in the teaser trailer, we now know that is Ortega's brother. And I see online people are saying calling the character Beta. We have Beta Ortegas, I guess.
That's fun. Like, where did they get that name though? I like missed that.
I don't know, but that was on. I skimmed Trek Culture's write up of the trailer, and I
Okay.
think I saw. Maybe that's the name of the actor. That might make sense too. But I'm glad that I guess that's a sign that we're finally getting hashtag more Tegas, right? Like if we're gonna meet some family members, I like that. That'll
That's-
get like some
That's
backstory.
true. I do like that.
Hopefully, yeah. That'd be hilarious if her brother got an episode and she didn't still, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
you're just
thinking.
like, screw you fans. Or... That would be sad, but
I don't know if any of the dialogue in this episode, in this trailer really impressed me. Which was, it's fine, it's just a trailer, but these are all kind of, I don't know, cliche trite lines. Like,
yeah, I dumped it from the transcript from the YouTube trailer,
Yeah.
and it's really short. There's not much.
This trailer, compared to last one, feels maybe more to me a little bit more like, hey, we're trying to tell the people who aren't massive Star Trek nerds that a new Star Trek show is coming, like that new season's coming.
Also, the people who are like, "Is this going to be all comedy?" And then it's sort of like, "This is like no, not all comedy."
oh yeah, there was a
mostly.
lot of there was a lot of goofiness in the last teaser. So if the people that are a bit more allergic to that, or only want a
More,
small
they're here
dosage
for the action.
Yeah, which I can understand. Jill in the audience, I see her commenting on Una's hair being better this season. So
I think this scene might be before they go into the rec room because they're talking about it's whatever mission adventure you want it to be or whatever.
Yeah.
That
right.
Kind of feels like
there's a line from Una, "Is this a hit it situation?" And then Pike replies, "It's whatever kind of adventure we want it to be." Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we think that's going to be the fourth episode of the season is the Hollywood murder mysteries, like what Jonathan Frakes is called. He's directed it, but we think that's going to be on the holodeck, aka the rec room, as seen in the animated series.
Yeah.
Yep. And by now we would have actually known that, but Paramount has cracked down all their screeners, so we do not have screeners. So all of this is actually our real
Yes,
guesses
yeah.
about
Oh, yeah.
everything. We're
Genuinely,
not
we have
informed by
no idea.
anything.
Yeah, none of us have seen any of the show yet. But yeah, I didn't clock that, Aaron. I think that's a good point. That Pike might be explaining how the rec room would work. It'd be kind of like reintroducing that concept to a new audience.
Right.
And Una seems really hesitant because she's not hesitant normally about any normal stuff, but like some kind of rec room thing, I could see her being like, "What is going on?"
Have we seen her in any of those scenes? I don't think we have.
No, I don't.
No,
she's-
it would
she's
make-
Not
there.
in costume, no.
No.
It would make sense that they might have to leave someone in charge while they're going up.
She plays Mr. Body and gets off right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely seems like the person who I'll just stay behind because that was sort of
Oh
the vibe
no,
they got
I
when
died quickly. I'm gonna go get snacks now.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna go have real fun and look at the con report.
Yeah.
We get a couple of shots of the Enterprise looking cool in space.
Yeah.
Some asteroids, asteroid field maybe, and then some shots of Mbenga and La'an sparring in their workout room again. The
They look
Enterprise
happy.
gym.
They look like they're having some fun.
Yeah, they look like they're having fun punching each other, which is that tracks for them and their relationship. There's a line from Una there. "This crew is a team, the finest Starfleet has to offer," and we see a shot of like possibly one of Pike's dinner parties. They're toasting wine. Battelle is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
I would say when they're in shots together, it strikes me how much Patel and Una look like each other.
Yeah, there are certain shots I had to like.
That's
Who
weird.
is this?
That's weird, Pike. You're dating someone who looks like your coworker.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's just
Good
like
thing you
they
don't have a
usually-
holodeck.
On TV
Oh,
shows,
wait.
they usually try to avoid having actors that look too similar, unless they're like
Yeah.
supposed to be related, because it's confusing, especially for the back. of
Well,
people's
it's funny when
heads.
you watch like TNG or Voyager, you see the people behind it clearly are the stunt doubles or whatever because
Yeah.
they have that vague resemblance to one of the main characters.
Yeah, and the same height and
I once watched a Buffy commentary where they came back and one of the actresses had dyed her hair, and apparently, we had to make her change it immediately because it looked too much like Sarah Michelle Gellar's hair.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can only have one blonde.
Yeah,
You have one
Yeah.
blonde, one brunette, one redhead.
I think they both decided to dye their hair between seasons and actually chose like the same exact strawberry blonde color, and they're like, "Oops, can't have that."
Too close.
Yeah,
And she's the star, so you change yours.
yeah.
yeah.
We see Spock in sickbay say it's edited where he's saying "indeed" in reaction to Una saying this crew is a team, the finest Starfleet has to offer. So again, kind of just like a cliche line that you could put in any Star Trek show. But
Looks like they were scanning maybe him in the background. You can see the medical scan.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a beautiful shot of a gorgeous Klingon D7, perhaps in a minefield. Maybe this is that same asteroid field we saw earlier in the trailer.
Yeah, the
Does look
thing
like
on
mines.
the diamond shaped thing. I'm not sure what that is, but
Possibly mines left over from the Klingon War. That is a very real life, real world thing. Is that's one of the problems of minefields is that those things stay they hang around decades later. So
And,
well, in the real world, they put them by fruit trees too and stuff like that. They know people will need to go by later. It's just horrible, but.
an actual, not a minefield, but I grew up on military bases. And what are they like? We're doing construction and found a bomb left over for World War II. And I'd be like, okay, shut this all down.
Just like every time they do anything in German River, they always uncover some ordnance that was dropped.
Oh, the worst part is they announced it at school an unexploded ordnance had been found and gave us no other information. And then later oh, it's for World War II. And we're, okay, so no one's trying to kill us right now?
Well, they are through time, it's probably the U.S. trying to kill the U.S. base through time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually because it was a Japanese base at the time. It probably was a U.S.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I think that this minefield, this is going to be from the same episode as the Klingon zombies. Maybe that's why someone has mined this planet.
And the whip
is they're don't go down because when we see when we see Pike and M'Benga on the surface of a planet, it doesn't look like a Klingon ship that's bombing them or firing on the ground when M'Benga is
it looks yeah, is that a Gorn ship? It's got the three things. It's so small. I can't
yeah, it doesn't
I enlarged it, but it didn't do any good.
It could be Klingon though, that Discovery era type of ship.
Yeah, they had those little raiders, and we saw one of those in the teaser for the season. So I think this might be the Disco era Klingon raider, which I actually have an Eagle Moss of that I would go look at and compare. But I think it's an ugly ship.
Oh yeah,
so it's stored in the attic.
Let me pull up a picture of that. Actually, I just found it.
Aaron has a picture of the Klingon raider.
Why did you buy it? Why did you buy a bottle?
Well, it was one that I was willing to own, but I had limited display room back here. So
okay.
The uglier ones had to go hide in the attic, so the prettier ones could be on display.
It happens.
Yeah. Hang on 1 second here. All right, let's see.
But while Aaron is looking that up, I just want to point out that in the trailer, the way this is edited, of M'Benga saying it's possible they don't know about us, and then Pike says they know about us.
Yeah.
And then we also see the way that it's edited, one of the Klingon zombies right after that. So, and Aaron.
Oh, see, in my notes I have Swamp Thing surprises Pike, so that makes more sense.
So this is
it definitely could be that.
The image of the Klingon raider. So
also, you're right. It is kind of an ugly ship.
Yeah.
Well, they can't all be winners.
He's got a fabulous crown. I don't know. It looks like it should go on, Emperor Giorgio's head.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it looks like when you see a female peacock and you're like, oh, those are the ones with the not pretty feathers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the other ones. Oh.
Is this where they were standing in do they know we're here? It's yes, they know we're here. Is that same place? Okay.
Yeah, so I think that and Pike's
everything's very Geiger
same,
inspired, unfortunately.
Yeah, it all looks like an alien movie. But Pike's wearing the same away mission jacket. So I think that's all. Right. I think this is some of the shots of the zombie cracking the whip. That's nighttime on the same planet. I don't know. If
zombies get whips now? Oh my goodness! I thought it was just
Ferengi zombies.
Do. Yeah, that's more Ferengi than Klingon, huh?
Yeah.
I thought he was just whipping the zombies. I don't know.
But that could be the same planet that we see these floating structures on. It's very foresty and green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these shapes, it's they always remind me of Hellraiser 2, because that's what Leviathan looks like. And it's the same shape as the time weapon from Prodigy. The one that gets stuck.
It's the wrong color.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I see this shape, I think of The Sims.
Yep, exactly. That's what I was. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same shape. Except
I think
not
of Sims Plum Blob.
just above a head.
but just like looking at the design, I'm like, oh, it's a finial for a curtain in the Empire State Building or something. It's got that very Art Deco kind
Yeah.
of.
I was just in
Feels
that
good.
building
It's
for the first
a-
time a few days
Oh,
ago. But I think this looks like a cool album cover. It's like, I don't know, this looks like
yeah.
something to be on
It
like a
would
metal
be a cool
album.
album cover.
I think this might be related to the thing where we see the beams going into a portal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it's funny, on the show Friday, Sohel and Taylor and I were talking about the episode titles that we got for season 3.
I haven't seen those yet.
Well, episode 5 is Through the Lens of Time. So we were like, oh, that thing kind of looks like
Yeah.
Like, she was thinking, like, maybe that's referencing the Guardian of Forever. And I'm like, oh, this looks kind of similar to the Guardian of Forever.
Oh, and that's Patel, isn't it? Right there.
Yeah, so we have Battelle and Pike holding hands. But this could all be a Pike dream, too. This could
I
be like
Or it could be
Genuinely,
related
the-
to time. Yeah.
Genuinely, the only reason that I knew this was Patel and not Una was because they're holding hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not tell otherwise.
Well,
until I
she's
noticed
shorter,
the hand.
too, I think.
I think she is a little
Isn't-
shorter. But
Oh,
this also feels like it could be a cool album cover.
Chuck is suggesting Iconians, and
Yeah.
that's a
Oh,
possibility. And I agree with that,
that'd be
Rachel. You have like these cool druid-looking dudes in robes. They kind of look like the Megans from the Magic Samegas too.
Yeah.
The thing that they're sitting in looks like it's a cabana on a cruise ship. Like you have on the, on
Yeah.
the decks. Like, we've
It
rented
does look
these. You
very
can't have them.
touristy.
So
Yeah.
Star Trek cruise next year, 2026.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a group of people to dress up the top deck of the ship to look like.
Oh, it's got
this.
like writing on it. I didn't even notice that before.
There's kind of like some what would you call that? Like hieroglyphic looking
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
written language with some visual
Like a
graphics.
face?
Yeah, it looks like mythological
Oh, yeah.
figures.
Yeah.
A white one and a dark one fighting it out with spears.
Dark one.
Maybe
Yeah.
she's supposed to have died, so he's sending her back. No. Like the Enterprise C.
I mean, as confident as we all are that like Battelle lives, Aaron brings up an interesting point. Like it could be that she dies and just continues to we get glimpses of her
Yeah.
through some other means throughout the season.
Well, it's also
Probably not that, but you
I
know.
think it's her because we know he doesn't end up with her.
Yeah, we know that this is going to be a temporary relationship. There is
Yeah.
no happily ever after between the two of
Yeah.
them.
I like Patel seems like a decent enough person that she wouldn't just abandon him when he becomes disabled if they're still
Mhm.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Like,
Oh, I have a theory now that that she
Could
actually
it be bunnies?
she survives the Gorn and survives the entire season, and then at the season
Oh, no.
the season 3 finale, we have a cliffhanger: new life and new civilizations, and it turns out the Tholians come over, and the Tholians are a horrific villain, but a worthy foe for Starfleet in this time period, and they slay Battelle and become the arch enemies of Captain Pike, and the rest of the show becomes Pike and the Enterprise versus the Tholians, which I think would have been a better idea than Pike versus the Gorn, but that's just me.
I mean, that would
Yeah.
be cool. Not for Patel. Sorry, I like you fine. I'm not trying to kill you. I
The
swear.
unfortunate part is the Tholians now just look like aliens from Aliens. So
Oh yeah, they still
Sorry,
go back
guys.
to we can't escape the Geiger stuff.
no,
no.
yeah, they're Tholians, but they look just like the Gorns are, except
That
they
would be
have
weird.
webs. They got big webs.
I'm pretty confident this is going to be from that episode Through the Lens of Time. So episode
Yeah,
5.
that-
Yeah.
Whatever this thing is.
Definitely.
And this looks like it's related to those floating pyramids because if you look at the tiles on the floor, it looks like they're the
Yeah,
same.
They match up
Design.
with that. Okay.
Mhm.
that would make sense. Yeah, see, this isn't Carl, the Guardian of Forever. It's Chuck, the Guardian of Time.
Yeah, it's
So-
like his second cousin from
Yeah.
the other side of the galaxy or something.
He's not quite as good at time travel, but he's good at other stuff.
Have you seen
His
Carl?
design is better.
Yeah,
Have you seen Carl? He just keeps sending people random places. It's getting ridiculous.
and
Yeah,
getting more
like,
cigars. Yeah, that's
for-
all Carl
yeah,
cares
for
about.
an entity
Newspapers.
An entity that calls itself the Guardian of Forever. Like, it really doesn't guard anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm now liking
It
it
does a pretty bad job.
that joke theory about Predator that everyone else on the Predator planet is normal, and they're like, those fucking assholes keep
oh
going.
yeah, like the
people.
trophy hunters. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the idea that Carl's like that. They're like, stop sending people. You're supposed to be guarding, like not sending.
None of the other portals talk to him anymore. That's
Yeah.
true.
You killed Spock's pet. Stop it.
We get a line
So mean.
from. And see, this line, I don't hate this, but I kind of I don't really like
Yeah.
it. But Palea says, there is evil in this universe
yeah.
as sure as there is good. It's like, in Star Trek, do we really have like good and evil? Isn't it like more of a nuanced conversation?
Well,
but
most
like
for
more of a
most people,
guided-
but I think
guided
from
line.
Pelia it works.
I think
'Cause she's
seen
Kelly's
so much
old.
yeah.
She's old and she cemented her personality in like 200 AD or something.
True, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So
I mean,
her being like not seeing the things the way
She's-
everyone else does.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
kind
baked
of
in.
atypical. She's atypically
Yeah.
Starfleet office. Like, this is just kind of a phase for her. She's just in like her Starfleet phase, you know?
I mean,
She sort of reminds me of
when
Guinan
was
in
she,
that sense,
like,
with the whole
because like
evil.
when was she
Yeah.
on Earth? Did she like did she live through like World War II?
That's true.
Yeah.
She's witnessed some pretty evil stuff
Yeah.
just on our planet's history.
She
Yeah.
would have seen now, today, too.
Yeah,
Uh,
very
God.
true.
Sometimes evil is stupid.
Just not a. Yeah, see the lower decks Packlids.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I do kind of looks like Mbenga's looking at her like, "Woo, that's it." Like,
but we cut from that to when she says there is good in this universe as sure as there is evil in this universe as sure as there is good. And when she says good, we cut to what looked like a Bolian birthday party.
Woo! And look, those people from TNG's servers are in the background.
Oh yeah,
That's
like
right.
the green shirts.
yeah.
Yeah, Ben or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Ben from the episode Lower Decks in TNG.
Yeah, he's a time traveler.
There's also Kirk is back and giving some the way that it's edited, giving some sweet looks back and forth with La'an.
Is your son born yet, dude?
Yeah. How's David doing? Kirk's gonna
Yeah.
be like, who? It's like, oh, I'm not supposed to remember about him till like 19.
Carol already said stay away, so
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
gonna do?
So another doomed romance. But yeah, it looks like there might be more Paul Wesley in season 3 than there was in season 2. He's in the trailer a good bit. And he was in that last trailer a lot. He's at least going to be in that Rec Room episode. Like, we see him when they do kind of their period piece stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he has to have so many, like, just to make it worth his time. He probably has to have so many.
Well, it makes
Hours.
sense.
Be like, hey, are you gonna come to Canada for how long?
Yeah.
Like,
Half a day, yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I think he was in 4 episodes in season 2. So I'm going to predict he's in at least 4 episodes in season 3. One where it's the period piece, and one where it looks like he's going to take command of the Enterprise. His first time in in this timeline.
Yeah.
The first time we see him, we've seen him do it in 2 other timelines. I guess 3 if you count the Kelvin movies. He's also like Kirk is in command before this.
No. Sohail earlier in the chat said this is the Farragut. But
Yeah,
if we
that's
look
what
at
I
the ship display in the background, there's a hull, so it does not look. It looks like a Constitution, not what is that?
But I think they're
Farragut?
both together. This is the one where they're stacked on top of each
Bellafor?
other.
Oh, is that what?
I mean, it would make more sense for him to have command of the Farragut, obviously.
Right, because he's first officer of that ship.
Yeah.
This is-
I thought that
Are
was
you always
I can't help it.
a new novel by Pike.
Yeah.
I do notice. I mean, I was pretty early on like hating on Paul Wesley's Kirk. I didn't like him in that first episode in season 1, A Quality of Mercy. But after season 2, I've really warmed to him. I don't mind.
He's
when
been
he
a
shows
different
up.
Kirk every time, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like him. Yeah,
I keep
Like
liking
him.
him more and more. I kind of want more. I kind of would like to see even more in season 3 than we had in season 2.
I like
might
him,
be.
but it's more that I wish there were longer seasons so we could have like the same amount of
Yeah.
him, but also just like more episodes without him.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
I don't know. I feel like we might get kind of a limited progression on Pike because we know where his character is going to end up.
Yeah.
There's not really much room for him to like grow. I think like him like coming to terms and accepting his fate in season 1, and then I guess he's still going through this arc with Patel. We don't know exactly how that's going to resolve, but like after that, like I kind of feel like there's not more for Anson Mount's Pike to do except go get in the beepy chair.
Yeah. Since he's seen this future, does he like see that she's not there, or is it just a very limited like?
I don't think I've never
injured.
got the impression that he knows that like he does get something nice after that. Like I think that entire thing was just like you're in this chair.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Not that many years.
But I think they clarified like it's about 10, right?
I think in this
Season 1.
Well, that's what they said, but like the years that they give in the show, and it looks like this year we're gonna see the Federation bicentennial, which would put it in 2261. So
And he had his accident in 2266.
Yeah, and but before his accident, Kirk takes over in 65.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's only like 4 years left of but I don't know if there's going to be more Strange New Worlds after season 4. So I think, we might be just these 10 episodes and then 10 more next year. And that might be it for the show. So if they are going to, do like a passing of the baton from Pike to Kirk, it would kind of make sense.
They also could just like stop doing, be like, and these 2 seasons take place over half a year because we don't want to do that.
I know.
Yeah,
Jill
if you had another
decided
5th
to-
season, it still would only
There
be
were there were no kids on this show for the most part, so like you don't have to worry about like you come back and be like it's later that day. Why has that child shot up a fucking foot?
Jill
Quick
says
recast
Pike can
Naomi
be,
Wildman. Yeah.
Pike can be epic for years to come. What am I talking about? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Anson Mount is into doing a lot more seasons of the show either. Just some of the
He's
of the
got
ways
his
that he
kid
talks
now,
about
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed to like have lost
Children.
interest in this like after the first season. So I don't want to see like I'm not saying that we're gonna see that, but like I do kind of worry is like are we gonna get kind of like that season 3 Shatner with Anson Mount where he's kind of like phoning it in.
I doubt that because he seems to be like a hard worker.
Yeah, so if he's going to do it, he's going to do it well.
Yeah, but I'm also remember that the end of the first season we meet that kid that's like, oh, that kid's gonna die in the accident. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
I don't think we said that at all, Jill. We are still interested in seeing more Pike. There's just a logical progression of timeline that we have to take
I
into
think that's the problem. It's like
account.
I'd love to see more Pike, but I don't know how that works.
I would actually like to see something that is not like connected to TOS, like just put it somewhere in the 2270s and have it be a completely different ship.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that Anson Mount's been tweeting more about the show. So that is a good sign.
Do this time period, but like something like unrelated to the Enterprise and established characters, maybe, which they kind of tried to do with Discovery, but then like they were still like, oh, but we're gonna make like the lead be related to Spock. So
Yeah,
it never quite pulled that off.
I'm just saying something unrelated to all the characters that we that's what TNG was, and that became very popular. So.
But we get a line from Pike to Kirk in these shots of Kirk in command where Pike says the choices you make in that chair, they are yours to make and yours to live with. And then Spock saying, we await your orders, sir. But I do agree with what Sohel said in the live chat that on one of these displays it does look more like the Farragut. Like I think this isn't like a great image, but that looks more like Farragut, like saucer on top of nacelles, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I see a hull there though. Isn't there a hull underneath the ship?
But there's no like nacelles above it. I think that's the.
Okay.
I think that's the cells under a saucer. But maybe
it's hard to see.
Ships.
There's a lot of stuff on that. Yeah, I don't know.
He gets in both captains' chairs over the course of the episode. The
new
show
alcohol.
promises, new alcohol, new romances. This is all for medicinal purposes, anyways, right?
Yeah.
This is Mbenga's backstock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this must be the Vulcan episode, right?
Yeah.
Chapel is still dressed.
Funny episode.
Yeah, that's gonna be our Vulcan comedy episode. They do one every season. You know, we're either gonna do Vulcan Freaky Friday or do Vulcan wacky getting engaged and impressing mom and dad. And
I do like the safety goggles though, bringing those back from last season.
Yeah, but that's gonna. Be
I wish Boimler was here too, though. But
episode 8,
Nurse
4.5
Chapel seems to have like an
Vulcans.
extra loop, like it's under her nose as well.
that's because she's she doesn't have the strap behind her head. She's holding it.
Oh, I see.
Or she's trying to plug up her nostrils so she doesn't have to smell the
humans.
on
Oh
board.
yeah, that's true. Or half Vulcans. Yeah. Ooh, gross.
So some wacky science experiments in sickbay. More of Ortega's brother and Uhura. So it sounds like they have at least a 1 episode flirtation. At least a 1 episode fling. You don't trust me with your best friend? You don't trust me with your brother? And then Ortega says, it's madness. So it'll be like, oh, if your relative and your coworker wanted to date, wouldn't that be stressful? I guess I don't know. Wouldn't that be awkward? I don't know.
That would be. I'm not thinking of friends when I've back when I was on dating apps. I sometimes saw my brother's coworkers and went, nope, not dealing with that.
But I'm excited for an Ortega-centric episode after they teased us in season 2.
Yeah.
They showed us the clip of her being all excited for an away mission. That was the first thing they showed us of season 2. It was
Ortega,
that was
did
so
I fly the
bait
ship?
and switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very weird.
That episode is basically saying this character's one trait is that they are the pilot. They fly the ship. Oh, I like Sohel says Rotegas. So
yeah.
But yeah, and they seem to have good chemistry and they show this shot in every trailer for the season. But
yeah, I mean, I know it looks pretty with all the people and the colorful stuff.
Yeah,
I get it. But...
gorgeous sets, gorgeous wardrobe, pretty smiles.
Yep.
I'm wondering, just because there's no CGI in that clip, it was this is our first nice looking clip that's ready.
Yeah,
put it in everything.
One of the first finished shots.
Yeah.
We were promised new adventures with some Gorn ships spinning around. So probably hegemony. The first episode, there's going to be a big showdown with the Borg. It looks like we're doing Discovery style. We're going to have a binary star.
You said Borg.
Oh,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah, let's bring the Borg in.
Oh, we can get Ortegas too then.
This is basically.
Wow, look at that.
This is basically Strange New Worlds trying to do Best of Both Worlds with their big cliffhanger. They said that when they were writing season 2, they were never thinking of past Star Trek episodes. And I guess I took that at face value when I first heard whichever one of the writers said that. I think it might have been Davey Perez. But just going back and looking at season 2, I'm like, there's no way you're telling y'all weren't thinking of we need to do a big courtroom we need to do our measure of a man.
Yeah,
it's y'all were clearly y'all were clearly the writers' room clearly were saying the words "best of both worlds" were clearly said when they were breaking hegemony part 1.
I can't imagine they thought we'd be waiting a year.
Yeah, no one knew the writers' strike was going to happen.
What happened last season? Fire Mr. Worf, and then the Gorn came. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I should rewatch it.
Those people only had to wait 2.5 months as opposed to 2.5 years or however long it's been.
And I was 12, so the summer went by real fast. So
yeah,
it's fine.
Those childhood summers go by so fast.
I didn't watch it live. I had to wait about what it took on Netflix to put the next episode.
I mean, we were excited for it, but the way people talk about it's oh my god, and everybody's waiting pens and needles for months and months. No,
that was just TV. You had to wait for the next season. I wasn't upset as much as I loved the Star Trek, but I was just I wonder what's going to happen.
We thought it was cool that there was a cliffhanger. I think.
Yeah, that was the first time.
I liked it.
That was the first time Trek ever did the mid-season cliffhanger.
I've heard that like people talk that apparently there was a rumor that Patrick Stewart was under like negotiation. So I wonder if like maybe adults who were aware of that rumor were like more like, oh, is he actually going to die?
Well, that's also my theory of why they keep giving Paul Wesley so much work, is that if Anson Mount gets too expensive, then they can just be like, okay, we're shoving you into the chair and we're putting the vampire in the center seat.
Yeah, Mount's not too expensive, but his hair products are now. So Wesley, you're in. Yep.
What's funny is I love Anson Mount. I think Paul Wesley's probably more expensive to have as like a lead actor.
That might be why he's only in 4 episodes and Anson's in 10. Yeah,
we'll just replace him with Gary Mitchell.
Everyone figured out he was playing Kirk in that, like, when they caught them filming, was because there was like, he's too famous to not be playing Kirk.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that, to be fair, that was like the day I learned who Paul Wesley was, but
me too.
He did.
Yeah, I didn't watch his show, his Vampire.
But he did have a huge following from that Vampire Diaries show.
I am a girl and younger than y'all, so I knew exactly who Paul Wesley was.
Yeah,
I've actually only seen a couple episodes of Vampire Diaries, but my friends were very into it.
He has a big fan base, though.
Yeah.
Creation has those cons that are mostly. Yeah. It's not only Vampire Diaries, but it's like mostly.
Yeah, they do. In addition to Star Trek conventions, they do vampire conventions. So.
Yeah.
Which, sadly, get bigger turnout than the Star Trek conventions these days. But what are you gonna do? It's binary stars again. It looks like, so we're gonna have a binary star showdown with the not with the Borg, with the Gorn.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the ship? It's the same ship that we see the Enterprise crash into later, like Star Trek Nemesis style.
I think so. The different angle made it hard to 100%, but.
And I think this is from Hegemony too, because Pike is still in the
that armor,
the danger vest, the body armor,
looking danger armor.
He says,
"It's just Gorn birth control when you wear armor. Then they can't." Yeah.
We have to stop this invasion. So I guess the Gorn might be planning a full Federation invasion.
Wait, go back to that bridge. Is there another display we can look at?
Yeah. So this one, it's a flat saucer and then 2 circular nacelles under it.
That's a Farragut.
Yeah.
That is a Farragut. Yeah, okay.
So he's on his ship. He stayed off the Enterprise for once. Good job.
Did he? But he didn't know. Nobody knew what the Gorn was because we actually watched Arena last night. It's just like I'm still curious to see how they're going to make that all work.
They're going to find out that the Gorn are actually Spock's brother, and then they send him to the future, and then they have to all pretend they don't know him. I figured this out. I was thinking about that today. Yeah.
The excuse that Davy Perez, the Strange New Worlds writer I just mentioned, but the thing that he's said ever since season 1 is that in Arena, there's a line from Kirk when he says, like, this creature that calls itself a Gorn. So the Davy Perez explanation is that Kirk had heard of the Gorn and he pictured something entirely different. And that whole episode, he's confused about why isn't this guy trying to...
They look all Giger-esque. Yeah, not like Bobby Clark.
And why they call them Metrons and they're actually Metrons, so, who knows? Orions and Orions. There's the difference there.
I don't...
Sabotage.
I just assume whatever they do with the Gorn in Strange New Worlds, I'm probably not gonna like, and I'm okay with that. I'm like,
we've got a long time to get used to it at this point. We really have. So
yeah, it's like.
Wait, is that Uhura in the background on the Farragut as well?
Yeah, or no? Except not everything's for me, and that's fine.
Yeah. Aaron is pointing out that in addition to Spock on the Farragut, which we clearly have here, that's the Farragut. That's Spock, and then Uhura. You see her big hair right here.
Well, does it mean we do get? Are they actually on the Farragut, or are they just looking at, the Farragut MSD?
I almost wonder, like, I don't know why. I almost wonder if this is more of like him doing a test.
Then he forgot to do his Kobayashi
the text in the background could actually be straightened out.
Maybe he has to redo it because he cheated the first time.
Now that he's the first officer, they're making him retake it before he can become a captain.
You can't be captain unless you really.
But I think this is from a different episode. The way that they edit Paul Wesley saying prepare all weapons, and then you see the Enterprise shoot a torpedo. But it looks like that's from the fighting the big Gorn ship. So I think this is a very different episode.
Was that Sam for a second?
I believe it is Sam in surface combat.
You get a shot of Sam, Kirk. I guess they go on board the big Gorn mothership. We saw this in the last trailer too, but Sam Kirk is there getting in on the away team action.
No, I said Jill. There's not. It's just found it weird that he has 2 officers from the Enterprise on the Farragut. So I thought maybe that was like we're doing a test thing.
We didn't see it yet, but later there's a shot of a ship, another ship besides the Enterprise that looks like the Farragut too, an external shot, and it looks like it's really taking damage. So they might need to send the Enterprise crew over there. I don't know.
Okay. That would make
you can
sense,
see on that display from before that there's like areas of damage on the
proof none of us have seen any of these episodes. I'm completely guessing. There's no.
We'd have better guesses. We'd fake better guesses if we'd seen them.
It's Voyager from the future.
There's a shot of La'an on the Gorn, I guess like the big Gorn mothership that they have to infiltrate for some reason. She says,
because Batel lives, but then she wants her Gorn babies back, so they have to go get them.
They're going to get her custody of the children. She says, "Get to the ship," and then we see these.
She's a better mom than Janeway or than Tom Paris.
Or
right.
With David.
Or Worf.
Or Worf. Yeah, a lot of bad parents in Star Trek. A lot of good parents, too, though. You still have, like, your Ben Siskos. And,
at some point, there should have been a scene of Sisko discovering the existence of Alexander or being like, go get your son.
Instead they had Martok coach Worf on dad lessons. But when La'an says get to the ship, and then it cuts to these 2 small Gorn fighter ships, it kind of looks like one is pursuing the other, or a couple might be pursuing the one in front. So I don't know if they maybe they escape from the mothership on a small fighter. We have the promise of new worlds, which is that's the whole premise of the show, right? It's literally baked into the title.
You don't say.
So with this shot, that looks like the upside down Enterprise on top, or at least the Constitution class.
Yeah,
and below
with a Farragut.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah,
you can't read the number, but I'm sure it is.
So it looks like it's some joint mission where they're having to shoot phaser beams together.
They're doing the lower decks thing, right?
Yeah. And it looks like it's being aimed. I mean, if you look at the portal thing that we saw,
right?
It looks like it's.
Oh yeah.
So they shoot the phaser
beams
into into this thing. Yeah, there's the 2 beams coming down.
There you go.
And the way that this is cut in the trailer, after it shows the ships shooting phasers, then we get the shot of the next thing is Kirk and Batel staring into that gate.
Oh yeah, because you can see.
It's the reverse shot. I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Neither did I.
So,
time for you to go back, Batel. Time to die. Bye-bye.
So what if Batel? Okay, here's a theory. What if Batel becomes captain of the Farragut, and the fact that the 2 captains are down on the planet, that's why Paul Wesley Kirk is in command of the ships up in space. Or maybe he's in command of the Farragut and Una's in command of the Enterprise, something like that.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
That could be interesting.
So maybe, and that would be, if you did put Batel on the Farragut, that would give you a good excuse to have her and Kirk both show up, because it's like whenever one shows up, the other one will be there on the ship too.
Yeah.
So.
But be like, hey, my boss is dating your boss, and we're friends, so I'll just hang.
I would really love to see Gary Mitchell and Dr. McCoy on the Farragut. I think that'd be so cool if Kirk has his own friends from that ship.
I don't know why they don't have Mitchell. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're waiting and they want to cast someone special, so they don't want to lock it down with just some rando Canadian actor.
I mean, we're getting Roger
Sorry,
Corby,
Canadians, but...
so the fact that they're gonna cut that deep to make Roger Corby a character. I like, they definitely,
They've
had
conversations
about
for Gary Mitchell, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's a season
really
finale.
Fascinated to see like Gary Mitchell sane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that would make it more tragic, his downfall. It'd be like,
exactly.
Before he got superpowers, he was actually
it's
a cool dude.
A similar thing with like for Sam and with Pike. Seeing this much of them is making the fact I know how they're like what their ending is make me go, oh no, I don't like this.
Especially tragic because you saw Sam with a rifle shooting up. If he could have done that on that planet, he might have lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the rubber vomit got him in. Oh, sad.
I've always assumed that maybe Sam was like protecting one of his family members during that.
Hopefully. The whole planet, though, it was sad.
I don't know what this shot is. It's very like Inception or Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Is that shelves and interior shelves? That could be like books and stuff on a shelf. Or it could be like a giant space thing. I went back and forth. I wasn't sure.
I cannot tell. It's so dark.
I'll try and brighten it up and see what we can see.
Especially going from like that shot is actually quite light with a Pike and Patel, and then going to like, the darkest shot. I was like, what's happening?
Kind of gives it that strobe light effect when you edit them together like that.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
We see
and it's a swirly thing, just like the wormhole thing that it's in the next shot they're showing now.
Oh yeah,
so
it might be connected.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Brightening it doesn't really help any.
Yeah, I can see that.
The shuttle coming out of the wormhole. There's an episode called episode 3. It's called Shuttle to Confori. So maybe this is the Shuttle to Confori. I don't know.
Maybe
it's a shot in the dark. More Batel sparring with Pike in the same workout room that Mbenga and La'an do Makbara, Klingon martial arts in. Quick shot of La'an with a Type 2 phaser pistol. And there's like an explosion here that blows up some people. I think this is the zombie episode. I think this is Pike and Mbenga, and they had to like blow up some zombies with a grenade or something. It looks like they're wearing that same kind of away team jacket gear.
Yeah, that's what I was also. There's a lot of Patel in this trailer for her not to be like alive.
Yeah,
but I like Aaron's theory. I'm glad we got that on the record in case that does turn out to be. I agree. That's probably less.
And I'm
likely.
not saying it is and it's plausible. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I mean?
But no, get all of our insane theories on the record. That way, if we got a shot in the dark once, we're like, no, look, I'm amazing.
Look how smart we are. And
we're going to cut that up and we'll have a
screener.
Prophetic YouTube short. Just the ones that worked.
Sometimes our theories end up being so much better than what they actually do.
Yeah,
like
that's the problem.
When Rachel suggested that Ed Spaliers might be Picard's nephew, Rene Picard, if he had survived the fire and was now alive as an adult, I would have liked that so much more than Beverly having a secret kid.
I think the part is I came over that theory then, and I was like, I know it's not that, but now I want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I would rather Rachel write Star Trek than some of the actual Star Trek writers, I guess.
Hey,
Paramount, pay the woman.
I think my favorite is that ended up in like a Trek Culture video, and then a friend of mine just watched Trek Culture was like, why the fuck is Rachel here?
We have a shot of Pelia doing kind of the Kirk thing at the end of Star Trek 09 when he slaps Spock on the arm, but she slaps Pike on the arm. He doesn't look like he's that excited.
Pike looks terrified of that. I don't know. It's just the still makes it look like that, I think. But
yeah,
he's uncomfortable in the live action, but it's fine.
And speaking of Roger Corby, here's our first look at. I believe the actor's name is Cillian O'Sullivan. It's like the most Irish name I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's the double Irish.
Oh no, that's a scary thought in Star Trek. You never know what's going to happen if he's Irish.
But he's getting popped in the face by Spock. So Chapel's new man and her old one not getting along.
Her new man gets old pretty quickly if you look at the two pictures of
he's going to have a rough few years, digging around in those caves, I guess.
Well, he doesn't make it, remember? Of course he looks rough. He doesn't even make it.
They ran out of black ink. So they had to make him gray.
There's that one shot of non-android Roger Corby, though, that we see on like the Enterprise computer screen and What Are Little Girls Made Of? By the way, that's the episode we're covering Friday on the show in our latest backtracking retrospective with Rachel. So
Indeed.
Looking forward to more Roger Corby talk coming very soon.
Is this our first shot actually ever of Roger Corby?
Yeah.
Because he's a robot for most of.
Well, there's a shot of him, like the first actual footage. There's like a shot of the real dude on a computer screen. When
that's
Kirk,
true.
Kirk pulls up his Wikipedia page in the opening of that episode. Sean O'Sullivan's correcting me.
Okay.
This is true.
But there's a shot of Scotty. It looks like he's reacting to the punch the way that it's edited. But
yeah,
Scotty, I think he's reacting to some engine or ship
probably.
Because he looks much more scared than a Corby punch.
Going to be another guy who's going to age a lot of years over the next few years. So
are those
it's the
Phillips tubes behind him?
I was wondering that. I don't know if that's the same prop, but it is kind of similar.
It looks
actually
huge.
and this is seen later when you get to it. I'll point it out that's in the background of something else too.
Okay.
And whatever episode has Brotegas in it, there's it might be more than one episode, I suppose, too. But Uhura has some more kind of cliche, inspirational dialogue that doesn't give away any plot stuff, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. But she says, "We're going to find our way out of this together." And then we see that shot of Chapel and La'an. They hold hands before they, I don't know, go across something or what. This is kind of similar architecture to those weird floaty things we saw too.
Yeah,
that's true. Maybe there
could be.
Yeah, look at the floor. The pattern.
Oh yeah.
So that there's a lot going on in that episode. You have the Stargate. You have the
floaty
Farragut and the Enterprise shooting phasers together, and then you have this. But we saw Spock and Uhura on the ship too. So I don't know. Maybe this is something different.
Destroyed at one point, or am I imagining that? I'm trying to remember what his ship.
I
looked it up in Memory Alpha. I don't think it's determined.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't really do anything really later, so I think it's wide open.
It might have some fate established in the novels.
Well, sure, in beta canon, but
yeah.
Because I was looking up trying to figure out what the class was called. It's the Bellafor or something like that.
This is interesting to me. It looks like Spock is mind melding with someone.
Yeah.
Which he really shouldn't be doing at all. He should be Van Gilder is supposed to be the first non-Vulcan he mind melded with, but
it could be Patton Oswalt.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it is Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, possibly. I hope that this isn't Kirk. I don't want them to be mind melded. I feel like that's it's too early in their
that would be hilarious. Kirk fights the Gorn and Spock makes him forget.
Oh, he
just
does
all those women.
Yeah, just like in Requiem for Methuselah, he does the mind meld forget thing. Yeah.
Is that Corby? Maybe. I'm just trying. No, I mean, look.
You love robots.
Looks like a male.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think it is a man. I think it's either Paul Wesley or I don't know, maybe Patton Oswalt. It's hard to tell. But,
I don't think it's Patton Oswalt. But maybe.
It's
Trelane.
It's
really hard to tell.
We haven't seen him in the trailer, so it's Trelane.
The hair. I also just because of how short the hair is. I was is it Ortega?
Oh, it could be.
It's also is it dark hair or is that just the shadow?
I thought Ortega's was more shaved down low, so I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah,
because it's short here, but just hair. I don't know. It's hard to tell with someone.
I'm doing live, let's see if I can take a screenshot and figure it out.
Yeah.
Beep beep. Brr. Yeah.
Enhance.
Tune in next week where we'll see if Aaron figured it out. Not really. But
we get a shot of someone firing phasers.
See,
so here's more stuff.
It
with
might
the
be
two
Paul
ships.
Wesley.
That looks like a Farragut. You can't see the registry number, but it's the right class, and it's taking heavy damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when we saw them up, when they were top and bottom, the Farragut looked fine. So it's either a different episode or they get damaged that episode.
Yeah.
But that planet that they were just shooting at the Stargate of, does it get blowed up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did they just destroy a planet? What the
Is
hell
that
are
a
they
whole
doing
planet full of Gene Roddenberry lava now? Hopefully.
there? Okay, here is the brightened up version of this. Okay, that does
Oh.
look clearly like a gold uniform. I think that's
Yeah.
probably Paul Wesley.
It looks like possibly him.
Although now that I'm staring at it with this shot, is he like I can't tell if he's mind meld. The other one looked more like a mind meld, or if Paul Wesley's hand is at his face.
He's just wiping something away from his face.
You got
You have some
know.
spaghetti on you.
Spock
It looks
licks his
mind
finger
meldy.
and then cleans the smudge.
He's got some smudge.
Yeah, just hold still.
And that's where they fell in love.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Dear
assume
diary.
that's
Today I
mind
touched
meld.
Kirk.
A shot of Una running down the corridor, and then it looks like Spock's doing some ballroom dancing with.
Yeah, where
possibly-
is this? Have
And
we
there's
seen
that
this?
background again. That's
Oh.
where Scotty was in front of.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is this new engineering?
This
Or
is the new science lab. So
The medical one thing.
okay.
I don't think that's the Billups tube
No.
prop, but it's something. I think it's inspired by that. I think they
Yeah.
wanted to
Must be.
base it on that.
Is that Lon he's dancing with?
It looks like it, or I guess
Okay.
it could. I guess
The-
possibly be to Pring, but I think that's
The hair is really
Christina
long.
Chong.
Like Lon
Yeah.
put it down. I paused this and tried to figure out who it was definitively. It couldn't make it out because
I would
the
think
clothes
this-
are not what they're
I
wearing.
would
in the episode.
also.
Yeah.
This is me guess of what I know about the actresses. She seems to have the most musical background of
Yeah.
the lead actresses.
I was saying this feels like a Data's Day kind of thing, like maybe teaching him to dance,
Yeah.
either to outdo Corby or something like that. And I just and if this is another musical episode, I'm going away now. Bye bye.
No, it's just interpretive dance episode. They don't
Yeah,
sing at all.
that's it.
They just
Yeah,
they don't
no, there's
talk
no
either. They just
dialogue.
dance.
There's
That
there's
is-
no spoken dialogue. It's just
That
all
could be
dance.
interesting.
Star Trek does Hush.
Yeah, that's what what they referenced the good musical in their musical. So
Jill says this is for the wedding ? So we do know that the
Oh.
second episode is called Wedding Bell Blues, right, or something like that.
oh, maybe this is
yeah,
that.
Wedding Bell Blues.
Which I
Oh, so this is Data's Day.
There's also a wedding.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, like these Strange New Worlds
That was
writers
more right
saying,
than I
like,
thought.
we don't look at old episodes of Trek and think we're gonna try to do that. It's like, are you sure you don't? At least subconsciously, you sure as hell do.
I don't. Yeah, I cannot tell exactly who that is.
I think it's her.
I think it's mainly because her
It's-
hair is
it's
so
hard.
long.
Yeah.
But my first instinct the first time I watched this was like, okay, I think that's La'an dancing with Spock.
I would say
If
it
you
would
go to the
not be
first frame-
uncommon for dancing if they're dancing together and he's short. It's because they're saying he doesn't think tall enough. It wouldn't be odd if they put him in lifts to make him even out a little for dancing. Just 'cause
The very
Height.
first frame you see before he flips her this way, if you had just showed me that side, asked me who it was, and go, oh, it's Lon.
yeah.
yeah.
And just it does seem a little out of character for her, but Rachel makes a good point.
Yeah.
Christina Chong, it looks like something that would be within her wheelhouse as an actor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and yeah, here's crashing into the I believe it's the same massive big Gorn mothership. So probably Hegemony Part 2.
Yeah. Quality sparks.
Oh,
And I'm now wondering, like, if they are trying to make it jealous, maybe she's trying to make Kirk jealous, or like distract herself from Kirk. He's trying to make
Yeah.
Jacqueline jealous.
Oh.
They're
Spock-
both trying to make someone jealous.
Yeah.
Spock and La'an are gonna hook up to piss off Chapel and Kirk.
And
Rom-com
inadvertently-
right away. All right.
Yeah. But there's also there's the Kirk and Spock thing too. So we've got like a triangle inside of a four. I don't know how. that
Yeah,
works,
and then
yeah.
it'll get
It's
even
a-
more complicated because we see.
Is it a
Oh, yeah.
love triangle or a love polyhedral?
It's a love version of that big diamond shaped thing that we see in the sky.
Or it's
Dodecahedron.
like an actual triangle where they're all just interested in each other.
There you go.
But we see La'an and Chapel holding hands too in the Brotegas episode. So it just
Everyone's interested in each other.
yeah, there's
yeah,
Corby.
Corby and Spock are like left alone in the background. So they're going to be the next love connection.
They make out, but they don't want to, but they just want to make everyone else jealous. So they just make out. Yeah, it happens.
We get some more Scotty dialogue. He says it's 1 in 1,000. We get it done right, or don't blow ourselves up along the way. So I kind of hate that that thing in action movies and stuff when it's like, oh, we're all gonna die. Well, what if we don't? It's like,
Yeah, let's do that.
I always
An
someone
X-flare.
said that to me in real life. But what if we do? Like,
yeah, Aaron, what's an X flare? What do you think?
It's the highest type of solar flare you can get.
Oh, see,
So
I thought it was
with lots
something
of
that
X-ray.
used to be a flare, but is no longer. So
Right,
yours
right,
is
like-
better than mine.
Right.
all of my exes live in Texas kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so they have the 2 stars. I guess these green
Yeah.
triangles are Gorn ships. They talked about in Hegemony Part 1 how there's like weird like star things that might interfere with like the
Yeah.
Gorn communication.
Oh, yeah.
How they use like light to communicate. So this is going to be how they bring down the Gorn and save Batel. It's going to be through this binary star situation and Scotty's cool move he's going to come up with. And we see a lot of buttons, consoles being worked, but also in the teaser they showed there's the analog episode where they hardwire the Enterprise. So we get like another shot of like, I don't know, it looks like they're
Yes.
plugging in a.
I rewatched the other trailer. This is the exact same scene. That clicking in the
yeah,
phones.
the
It
dial.
It looks like an
modem.
ISDN line almost when you look at it really close.
Right.
That's what I thought at the first time, but in the other trailer you can see it's just a bunch of that
Right.
brutal wiring, which
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
press hard enough goes in.
It looks like the old days when to get on the internet you had to unplug the phone line from your
Yeah.
phone and then plug
Oh,
it into
yeah.
the modem in your computer and
hope no one had an emergency they had to call you about.
yeah, hope no
Yeah.
one is trying to call you because they're going to get a busy signal.
Or that somebody picks up the other end and ruins your connection, because that happens too.
Mm.
Mom, I'm on the computer.
20th century problems. There's a line from Pike to Scotty about I like those odds. We'll just turn it off before we blow up. So I think that's dumb, slocky
I think that's
action movie dialogue. But
That's probably the X Flare episode too. Then,
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that they have to do something without their
I thought
technology because of
it's
the-
right
the
after that.
X-ray radiation.
They
coverage.
almost look like they're smiling at each other, like, haha, he's gonna kill us all.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like-
Ortega's and Mitchell,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, this guy's about to blow us all up. The shuttle possibly to Confori again, coming out of that wormhole.
thingy.
Logo, the date, streaming July 17th, and then we end with the Patton Oswalt gag. We see him with like a bouquet of roses in the teaser, by the way. So
Is he
might-
going to the wedding?
Yeah,
Is that
he
what
might
that
be.
is?
Do we think maybe it's his wedding?
He seems kind of old to be getting married. He's probably like 200 if he's like a Vulcan, but
True.
I mean, people do get married later in life, I guess. So it's.
I mean,
I like Sean's
could be,
idea
like-
that the mind meld might be Spock and Pike. Sorry,
Here we go.
oh, that's
I think
that's
that'd be
true.
Spock
cool.
is aware of what happened. So
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I don't know, like Sarek remarried later in life.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get a.
Well, he was a
second
player
wife.
his whole life. You know, first the Vulcan princess,
Yeah.
and
I forgot about
then
the
Amanda, then remarries in TNG, and then
Yeah.
But the high five now down low. Why would you do that? Because you were too slow, and then they cut to Pike laughing.
okay. I watched
which is
this in
clearly not the same scene.
Yeah, not the same scene, right?
I watched this in 0.25 speed about 10 times. Pike's laughter at slowed down is very scary. 'Cause it's it's just like whoa, because the rest of the dialogue just sounds slow, but
Yeah.
No, looking at
that
this
part's
image of him though, thinking of this slowed down like that, yeah, that would be like a horror movie. you know?
Have you ever seen Jeff Goldblum slowed down? He sounds drunk. They had these commercials for Mac from like 2002
Yeah.
or something like that. He's like, what's email? I've never heard of email.
Oh yeah, or if you do that to the Jonathan Frakes, what was it, Fact or Fiction?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Same thing.
It sounds like a drunk person trying to be like, I read Wikipedia yesterday and let me tell you everything.
Yeah. Have you ever written your name in wet cement? You ever ride a bicycle?
When this is on YouTube later, I'm gonna slow that down even more and see what it sounds like. I'm also gonna speed it up, see if it sounds normal. So
that a couple of times they accidentally posted a video and slowed down everything, and they're like, "No, it just sounds like they're drunk and ranting about theater." Like,
well, I like his. I still want his cabin. Like the
I want a
kitchen and the cool video window and all that stuff.
Yeah, that would be fun to like. I just went to the Ticonderoga set tours where James Cowley rebuilt the entire TOS Enterprise sets. Like, I just want this one Strange New World set. Just give me Pike's quarters and let me live in it. That's all I want.
It's bigger than my apartment.
Yeah, me too. I think.
I think his kitchen is much nicer than mine.
Yeah,
Rachel's
seen my kitchen. It's like it got the same vibe in some ways, but just like way smaller.
Mine's I think father is the only. My house was built in the 80s, and the kitchen was made cheaply. Well, I don't know if at some point it was flipped very cheaply, and there's no counter space. The drawers don't even have any slides on them, so it's just wood, scraping wood.
Oh,
they used to do that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually get wax to wax it. So
I need to do that. It's bad.
My drawers have the thing like if you shut them, they just sort of shut by themselves slowly, and then if you get used to that and go somewhere else where there isn't, you slam the door closed. It's like, oops, sorry.
Everyone thinks they've broken my drawer because it would go off, and then they're like, "Oh, Rachel, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "No, just shove it in there." Everyone thinks they come to my house and break it.
Oh, Jill points out too bad the crew size doubles and they have to cut down the size of all these big rooms. Yeah, that is a great explanation for why all the rooms get smaller in the original series. As we learned,
they actually in one of Dayton Ward's book in the 50th anniversary thing that he does mention that I think Una comes through and she's like, "Wow, this ship is smaller now." Like, it's like I'm glad I was on it when I was because we had bigger rooms and
5-year missions with 450 people. Yeah.
God, it's like the equivalent of flying even 10 years ago and flying now. What happened to all these seats? Why are they so small?
I just realized I haven't flown since 2013. Interesting to see what it is like. I don't really want to know, but
I am thinking I should fly less often, or if I do fly, I'm going to try to find instead of Boeing, I want Skybus, Airbus. Yeah, Airbus. That's what. Yeah, because these Boeing planes keep dropping out of the sky. So
I want to take a boat to somewhere else and then take a plane. It's not connected to our FAA at all.
I just mine and Taylor's trip to New York. We were originally going to fly into Newark, New Jersey, and then we changed it to JFK, even though it was a lot more money because a guy who worked at the Newark airport was like, "Hey, we are operating all the time with no what do you call it? The
sleep?
No, the controller guy in the
Oh god.
Oh.
But they're don't risk flying into this airport. And I was like, okay,
the air traffic controller head guy.
Air traffic controller. Yeah,
I also
sheesh.
At least every time I've flown to New York, I've always flown to JFK because it's the only flight direct from Austin.
Oh, I'll say this though: if people want an easy life hack to get in and out of Ticonderoga in New York, fly in and out of the Albany, New York airport. It is super small and super easy to get through. So
yeah, is it kind of expensive just because it's such a small airport?
Jill says, never fly into Newark. So I don't plan to, not anytime soon.
I've only ever flown into Newark when coming back from a foreign country, and that was my connection.
Yeah.
Although I was in Europe, and I was in the right line, but someone asked me, she's like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Oh, the flight." I said Newark, and she was like, "No, this is not New York." And I went, "No, New Jersey. I know I'm going to New Jersey. It's fine." There is a difference in what I'm saying. I understand why you can't hear it.
That to someone in another country who doesn't hear Newark,
New Jersey, I'm saying New York and Newark.
Yeah. That's if you even you talk to a Canadian, if you just say medium-sized American cities, if you just say Charleston, they're gonna I have no idea what state you're talking to. I don't know, is that in Ohio, Idaho? I don't know. But I guess I don't know, does anyone else have any other thoughts on the Strange New Worlds season 3 trailer before we sign off?
Okay, well, I was just thinking about the episodes we didn't see anything of. So I think we know at least 3.
Yeah.
I thought 4, but then I said, no, that's Vulcan Chapel with the goggles. So we don't. It looks like we don't have anything from the thing that looks like the USS Callister, which I assume is the Trelane episode. We don't know that for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
If those are 2 episodes, either one of those 2 things, we don't see anything
Could
of.
that be later in the season though, or is all the stuff that we've seen only from the first 5 episodes?
I don't know,
Maybe they're still working on effects for like.
because we have a lot. There's
Yeah.
stuff in here that we didn't see at all before. Not everything, but certainly. And then, the murder mystery episode. I mean, it could be that conversation with Una and Pike at the beginning with the hit it. Could be that, but we don't see anything for sure that's in that one.
But we definitely like the first episode of season 3, Hegemony Part 2. We definitely saw some Hegemony Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wedding Bell
Tons of that.
Blues. We think that maybe they're dancing. They're maybe I don't know. Patton Oswalt might be getting married. I don't know. Who the hell knows? That's a
He's either,
possible
I think he's either getting married or watching someone get married.
And I heard somewhere that his character's name is Doug.
Doug
Not
the
Doug
Vulcan.
or anything like just Doug.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's accurate because it just reminds me of the Vulcan Steve from the animated series that
Right.
never happened in 1969.
That would be so funny to me because one of my brothers is named Doug. So
There you go.
I really
You're a
hope
Star Trek
Patton
character
Oswalt's
now.
name is
Well.
Doug.
They named it after him. You're for sure.
But then the episode
I think of
3.
the siblings, the one who's seen the least amount of Star Trek. Actually, maybe not, because I lived with them for a while, so we were stuck with it.
He absorbed it,
Yeah.
through.
Now I'll have a reason to watch
Osmosis.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3, episode 3 is a shuttle to Kinfori, so maybe that's the shuttlecraft coming out of the
Maybe.
wormhole.
Yeah, I
Episode-
read that as Kenobi when I first saw it, and I'm like, wait, that can't be right.
It'd be a very different show. The 4th
That'd be
episode.
funny if they just started naming systems after Star Wars characters on the down low.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
mean-
it says Doug the Vulcan. Like if I search for
Doug
it,
the
like,
Vulcan,
it keeps
okay.
coming up. So it's like, yes, that is his name.
I would now just the way they
Is
were
it
like
D apostrophe O U G?
No, it's just regular.
Is it like I was saying it's Doug, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought it could be like up where the dog's name is Doug Dug because he digs.
The if they were gonna do what Joel said and to start renaming star systems after Star Wars characters, I think that's fair because Star Wars just made like their best TV show and named it after the Andorian homeworld. So,
It's true. And
So-
they didn't even cast Jeffrey Combs. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
And they have basically
Yeah, right.
Andorians in Star Trek or Star Wars as well. I can't remember what they're called, but they're like, oh yeah, you're a blue-skinned creature that lives on a cold planet. Gee, that doesn't seem familiar.
Episode 4, a space adventure hour. We think that is
The USS
Trelane-
Callister 50s
Callister.
thing.
Holodeck, yeah.
Or is it gonna be holodeck or Trelane? It's
I
Oh.
think that's true. I think that's Trelane because
Yeah.
I think the murder mystery because we see that costume and with the grid behind them, right?
Yeah. I think
Right.
that's
The murder mystery is Rec Room.
For sure, yeah. But I also thought the other one could be though, just because
It could be,
they
but
both be
two
having
of them,
friends.
and I don't think there's enough room
No,
in
not
one
2
episode
episodes.
to do them both. I don't think you can do them both.
Maybe.
It'd be sad. If you
Like-
just have
I
mean,
one
they could-
scene.
If you just had like, well, it could just start with that. Like they did like the one, like they leave,
Yeah,
they just
you
do
could.
that one thing as they
Yeah.
head out or change or whatever. I don't know.
We'll find out, of course. But
through the lens of time. We think that's the Stargate that
the double
blows up
beam.
the planet.
Yeah.
306, the Salot who ate its tail. I think that's going to be the Patton Oswalt episode. Actually, I think it's going to be like
Oh,
some
that
old
would make
Vulcan
sense.
proverb
That would make
Oh, yeah.
sense.
that they bring up.
Maybe
in
he
that episode.
mind melds with Kirk to tell him about his Salot more. And then, you must know the pain. Wait. Actually,
No,
the
it
Salot
hasn't
hasn't
happened
died
yet
yet.
in
We
this.
figured that out. I forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Salot will die, but not yet.
but
Right.
after the animated series.
After
when it gets-
yesteryear. Yes, correct.
I mean, he still
Um,
could be alive. He'd probably be really old at that point, though.
But he died of old age. He wasn't killed.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
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 Episode 307, what is Starfleet? This is when they're all like looking in the camera, like they're being like interviewed.
Oh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're right. Because she
Uh,
says
Maybe all
after
those
the
smiling. It's
Starfleet
just
is.
like we're trying to find your white balance. It's okay. Like
308.
Yes, they find out Kirk didn't do the Kobayashi Maru, and now he has to write an essay. What is Starfleet? And he's having everyone help him.
everyone figures out that he cheated on the test.
I can't cheat out of this essay test. Oh, except asking my friends. There you go.
Hey.
Why are you on my ship getting help with your homework? Never mind.
308 is 4.5 Vulcans, so we saw
know which
some of
one that is.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's that and Hegemony Part 2 are the 2 episodes I'm not looking forward to. Very excited for the other 8.
Yeah.
309 Terrarium.
That's
no idea.
so up in the air. Yeah. Could be
Okay.
Maybe that's the zombie episode. Like, I don't know.
That would make sense.
And then the finale, New Life and New Civilizations. I suppose, like, the zombie episode, like, that might qualify as New Life and New Civilization. It's like some experimental something. But,
I bet the zombies won't be the season finale.
yeah, probably something else. Possibly another cliffhanger. And we know that there's a season 4 currently in production. So, but I don't know. I don't know
the
if we'll
stuff
get...
that we saw with the time vortex actually is not that episode, and it's the finale or something.
Yeah.
Could be.
Through the lens of time might be something unrelated to that.
Yeah.
Stargate.
Not necessarily, but it seems to fit visually. If it had to be something from this trailer, it would definitely be that.
Well,
It does look like they're going to send Battelle back to her home planet or something. But they find out she's an alien. I don't know.
I do love the idea that they're like, we found out you're secretly an alien, and she's like, half of us are. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's why the Gorn didn't affect her, because she's an alien. They impregnated. They tried, but it didn't work.
We joked about we were watching Arena last night, and Kirk disappears because they put him on the planet, and Uhura freaks out and just screams, and we're like, it's not like you don't see people disappear every day. She should have just been, oh god, they transported him.
Yeah.
Not like she just screamed.
Yeah.
So we joked that when he came back, she screamed the same way. Like,
I forget when Arena was. Is that post Nomad? Nomad erased her memory of
it's
people
before,
disappearing.
No, pre.
It's
Before.
Arena. It's a season 1. Arena's in season
okay.
1.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we just started over recently.
I could see what Jill's writing. I could see them when they wrote the finale for season 3 not being sure.
Yep.
About the future of the series.
Yeah.
Or anything at this point.
Yeah.
There was like a couple, like I could give a couple of TV shows where I was like watching the episode and I went, "This is not the series finale, right?" Like.
Yeah, well, I just watched the animated show Legend of Korra, the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I started that like 3 times. I need to finish it.
Like every season though, it wraps up like they thought it was going to be the possible end.
I think they did think it was going to be the possible end.
I definitely believe that.
Animation knows you have to do that because you can't count on anything.
Show, and it was always on a weird thing. It's Parks and Rec clearly at the end was like always ending like, in case this is the last episode.
I mean, sometimes that seems kind of responsible of the writers, but also sometimes it can be kind of annoying for the audience because you're like, okay, I know there's going to be nothing of consequence. Everything is going to get wrapped up to be a perfect ending. So
looks like they actually released a couple photos as well.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, there's a new set of posters
with the 2 people posters.
No, just photos of the episodes. Here, I'll send the link.
I'm not sure if I see them.
I thought those posters looked kind of cool.
Yeah,
they were fine. Yeah.
Yeah. They look like actual art and not AI, so that made me happy.
There's definitely a lot of zombie stuff in the one zombie poster.
Yeah.
Like the O in Strange New Worlds has like a hand instead of a delta.
So yeah. Huh. I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out if that is Iconian.
I mean, it's just waiting to be used or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's funny. Like whenever there's like a book or a video game or a comic or whatever, like everyone loves to use the Iconians, but then like the shows don't haven't really capitalized on that.
It's true. I mean, Doctor Who finally, it was actually the Ronnie. I mean, it was for 20 years, every female on Doctor Who, everyone's like, oh, it's the Ronnie.
Oh yeah,
and they actually did it.
A friend who had like gotten into Star Trek because he like watched someone's actual play of Star Trek Adventures. I guess they use Iconians a lot. He was like, "Tell me what episodes I should watch for Iconian stuff," and I was like, 2. I don't.
Yeah.
Here's a bunch of books and video games.
They're mysterious. I think Star Trek Online probably has used them the most.
Yeah,
the whole storyline.
When I think of Iconians, I think of Star Trek Online more than I think of any episode with them.
Yeah, That's fair. They're pretty integral to one of those early story arcs. One of the
there's another
few
picture.
Star Trek Online things I've played through.
I'll need to look if I can. I still cosplay that Law outfit. I just still can't figure out what color those pants are.
Yeah,
know soon enough.
we don't have enough images to like try to figure out if it's the lighting or.
Yeah.
You'll have a little bit of time before Vegas, but not much.
Not much.
Yeah.
Not much.
Trying to figure out
We need to
before.
start now.
Oh, I've been I bought
2 months,
everything.
people. 2 months.
I bought all the plane and hotel and stuff for Vegas, so I've been looking at cosplay stuff.
Rachel, what I'll do is I will ask someone at Trek Geeks who actually has a screener. It's like, can just take a screenshot of just the pants,
Or, like,
not anything else.
Just
or
the
give us
color.
some-
Just give us
just
the
the color
color.
of the pants.
Someone
Yeah,
who's trying to buy pants for a cosplay.
I'll see if we can
Also,
do that.
if they could tell what shoes she's wearing, that would also be helpful too. Although I
Oh,
might
yeah.
like if
You want
they're
to wear something that's comfortable, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Super zombie. Yeah, the poster is
Mhm.
very more zombie-ish.
Yeah.
but
That looks like
behind them.
downtown LA. That's skyscraper back there.
That's
That was
like I
weird.
like that background a lot. With
And those are some interesting, aliens.
yeah,
Yeah, that building back there.
So, and I'm looking forward to getting back to covering new Star Trek weekly. It's been
Yes.
a while,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Yes,
Rachel
wait,
doing
hold
the
up.
first reactions on Thursdays.
getting Although yeah, if we never get Scrinders, it's going to be very first reactions because I only have time to watch it like once.
Yeah.
We'll talk and see what we can do.
Yeah.
But either way, that'll be starting July 17th is the Thursday, and then Friday on the 18th we'll be talking about those first 2 episodes, Hegemony Part 2 and Wedding Bell Blues.
Oh yeah, I
sweet.
forgot. It's like they're doing 2.
Yeah.
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 That
That's the
will be
style.
It'll feel
these
even
days.
shorter.
interesting of like first reaction because I often watch them during my lunch break when new Star Trek episodes come out. 'Cause
So you're
they-
taking a long lunch break that day.
Yeah. Shh, don't tell my boss. He's actually quite chill, but still don't need to flaunt
Does
it.
he watch? No.
And this week, Friday, we will be live with another backtracking retrospective on the original Roger Corby episode, "What Are Little Girls Made Of?" Also has the famous Kirk Dick Rock that everyone loves. To
I
So-
recently rewatched that for another podcast and had forgotten about that, and it was look solid. I couldn't stop giggling. I
Oh.
was so bad.
I listened to that. You guys had a lot of. You're like, oh my
They
god,
had
I
to
forgot
know.
about that.
I'm not that immature, right? This just looks like that.
Yes.
yeah, we'll have Dick Rocks. We'll have Lurch androids from the Addams Family, and we'll have Chapel's fiance Roger Corby Friday night.
I was thinking someone's asking if we think there's gonna be any Ready Room. I'm under the impression no, right?
That's done.
They've
No.
said
Yeah.
that that's canceled, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
not
'cause-
but it's okay.
No
because
longer ready room.
Yeah.
Instead of the Ready Room, you can just tune in to Tex-Trek
Yeah,
on
we're
Thursday
still
nights
here.
and Friday nights. So we'll have
I
your
can't-
episode coverage.
I can't promise that actors will actually come,
I
but
was
we'll
saying,
have
let's
fun.
see. We'll try. Yeah.
We'll have
Yeah.
actors. They're just not on Star Trek.
Yeah,
They're
I
in the
mean,
local theater. And...
I act in local theater. I don't
There
like
you go.
not
See,
that
right
That
here.
counts.
I've acted in a local Star Trek thing, though. Like,
Look
Yeah.
at that.
kind
We
of
have
like-
There you go, Star Trek
Star
actor
Trek
right
improv.
here.
Hey.
So, but yeah, and Jill says I should invite Sub Commander Tall to one
yeah.
of the So
Oh,
yeah, we'll
yeah.
get him on a backtracking retrospective at some point. That's a good idea, Jill. I will reach out to him. But
He's
otherwise,
always great.
I think that's gonna do it for today. This dog that I'm dog sitting is tearing up all of Amos's toys, so I'm gonna go put a stop to that.
Uh-oh.
But thanks everyone who watched. Just please comment
Yes, thank
and
you.
let us know anything that we overlooked in the trailer that you saw. Please point it
Yeah.
out to us. But otherwise, we'll be back Friday. And just a reminder: join the Tex-Trek Discord. We're gonna watch What Are Little Girls Made Of Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. So, but yeah, I can. I'll be there. So see y'all then. And until next time, as always, live long and prosper, y'all.
Subscribe to YouTube to watch the Tex-Trek podcast live or listen to us later on your favorite podcast platform. Follow Stephen Fothery on socials at TXTrek. Thank you and take care.